Hello, football fans. Well, week five's in the books and week six is coming up on the horizon. And let's start this review of week five with the main event. Packers Cowboys. Now, Packers would kind of run away with this actually to my surprise because usually Packers Cowboys games, especially since December 31st, 1967, the day that the two teams played each other in the Ice Bowl for the NFL championship. Games between the Packers and Cowboys are usually back and forth, no matter what names were tied to both sides. This one started off as a potential laugher because it looked like Green Bay was going to run away with this thing. Dallas couldn't do anything right. Dak, for once, was actually committing turnovers, and it resulted in a 17-0 lead at halftime. But then Dallas started to wake up a bit. But by that time, it was about too little too late. They had it down to 10, but a missed chip shot field goal sealed it. And Rodgers took over Jerry World as only he can. He's 4-0 at that place in Arlington. That includes 3 wins against Dallas, one of them in the playoffs, and of course Super Bowl 45. So the Packers improved to 4-1. We are among the top teams in the NFC. We are gelling. We are absolutely gelling right now. And but that was the big game of the week. Uh, you know who else is 4-1? Is this a surprise? Kansas City. That's because they lost at home to Indianapolis. They lost at home to a team that had questions. There are a lot of questions regarding the Colts. The main one being how would they do after following the shocking early retirement of Andrew Luck. But so far the Colts are 3-2, and they actually have a win now over Kansas City, who many, myself included, have winning the AFC. And I just can't help but wonder if this is the team that is being picked to overtake New England, then we're screwed. Because they were at home and they couldn't beat a Colts team that had a lot of question marks. And here's the scary part. It wasn't the defense that lost the game. It was the offense. Where was it? 13 points. 13 points. That's all I have to say. Something needs to happen. And it turned out Mahomes is a little bit banged up, but he's fine now. But they got to play against Houston, who doesn't have question marks. That's also a home game at Arrowhead. Okay, so with that, the only unbeaten's left is one in each conference now. The only unbeaten's left, New England, they beat Washington, big damn deal. And San Francisco, who got a big win against a strong Browns team, 31-3. They just beat the Browns like they stole something. And so San Francisco stands atop the NFC overall at an unbeaten 4-0 atop of the NFC West. Speaking of the NFC West, let's talk about the game that started the week. Rams Seahawks. I don't know what the hell is wrong with the Rams, especially the Rams defense. Week 5 started with the Rams losing to Seattle. They gave up 30 points to them. Now, the Rams have been hallowed for their defense. It's been put up there as one of the best in the league. They have given up 85 points in 2 games to 2 mediocre teams, Tampa Bay and Seattle. Imagine what real teams like Dallas and Green Bay would do to them. It's baffling. It's baffling. That team's defense has been falling asleep. It is crazy. And here's the kicker. They have to face the undefeated Niners this upcoming summer. Now, granted, the game's in LA, but that's where the Buccaneers, with Jameis Winston as the quarterback, mind you, put up 55. Franchise record. Put up 55 points in LA. Of course, I have to mention this. There's more suffering in LA now. The Dodgers, they're done. They lost Game 5 at Dodger Stadium to the Washington Nationals, so their season is over. So there's a lot of suffering There's a lot of suffering in LA. The Dodgers are done. The Rams defense is disappearing. The Chargers lost at home to the formerly winless Broncos. That's right. The Broncos picked up their first win of the season against against the Chargers in their place. So now the Chargers are kind of up there in the AFC too. The two big supposed threats against New England both lost at home to teams with too many questions. This is not good. And with that, the winless teams, the only winless teams are now Miami, the Jets, Washington, and Cincinnati. Cincinnati lost to Arizona. Arizona got their first win. Now 1-3-1 and a slight outside shot, but it's early. I'm sure by November that dream will end. But anyway, so it's pretty interesting. We're entering pretty much the second quarter of the season now. I mean, the season is about one quarter through, especially after week 5, because some teams have played 4 games, others have played they all 5 haven't had byes yet. But it's a pretty interesting story. I mean, the NFC, you have San Francisco, Green Bay, New Orleans, and Seattle. Dallas is in a tie for first with Philly. Both teams 3-2. Giants are 2-3, and even with their many injuries, they have a slight outside shot, but it's very slight, especially since the Giants have to go to Foxborough, and with Eli not starting, they're going to get killed. The NFC North, the Packers still on top. We've been on top of the division since day one. So yeah, we're still on top of that division, and we actually have the Raiders of all teams to thank for that. The Raiders actually beat the Bears in London, so yeah, it's amazing. And but still, I mean, it is still too early to talk, playoffs, wild card, and playoff races. That talk usually starts around Thanksgiving, so there's still about a month left until we actually get down to the serious talk about playoff races. But it looks like you can make a case as regarding the Packers. You can make a case for the North, definitely. You could probably make a bit of a case for a first round bye. Home field, a few things have to happen, but I say division or first round bye at least. I said home field depends on where the cards lay regarding teams like the Saints and Niners. I would say probably Dallas, but we actually took care of that. We have head to head, so all I have to do is kind of win out. But now for the AFC though, the AFC, it's a mess. Though it's kind of a dogfight a bit between Buffalo and New England. Now New England's 5-0, but they haven't played anybody, and the one good team they played was Buffalo, and they barely beat them. So. And the Bills are 4-1. They might be for real. And I kind of hope they are, but they're 4-1. And the AFC North is terrible. Baltimore is back in first place. Cleveland's right behind at 2-3. Poor Pittsburgh. I think that whole city is just under a big black cloud this year. I mean, the Pirates had a terrible season. The Steelers are riddled with injuries, and the Penguins are kind of riddled with injuries. Oh my goodness! But Steelers are 1-4. The window is closing a bit, even with the bad division. The window is closing. They're only a game. They're only a game better than the Bengals. I mean, it's a mess. The AFC South is a log jam. It's a toss up, and not for good reasons. Mainly due to players being lost either by retirement or by injury. It's pretty much a log jam. And in the West, well, Kansas City, it should still be Kansas City's to win. However, if they lose games like this, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. What's even crazier, guess who's right behind them in second place? Oakland. The punchline. The team that got okey-doked by Antonio Brown. They're in second place, right behind Kansas City. Isn't that something? They're ahead of the Chargers for the time being. But so that's a look at everything that's happened. We're now entering the month of in this month of October, heading to mid October. Week 6 begins with Giants and Patriots. Um, Houston, Kansas City play each other in what should be a very important conference battle. Dallas, they're going to get a free win because they're going to be in New Jersey playing against the Jets. Niners, Rams, big NFC East game. I mean, NFC West game, I mean. Oh, my goodness. The Steelers are facing the Chargers. This could be their last. I think if the Steelers lose, they can forget it, even in this bad division they're in. Um, of course, the week ends with Monday Night Pack, the first of two editions. Packers are two Monday night games. Packers are at home against the Lions. A very important NFC North game. The Lions are actually in second place at 2-1-1, if you can believe that. But yeah, they are actually ahead of Minnesota and Chicago in the North Division standings. So this is a important game. First place is on the line in this battle. So that's a look ahead to Week 6. And the next time I'll be on YouTube will be, it won't be that long. It should be late tomorrow night. I will review the division series because it will end tomorrow night with Game 5 between Houston and Tampa. Winner faces the Yankees, the ALCS. The NLCS is set in St. Louis and Washington. That should be interesting. So I'll be back tomorrow with that review. And with that, I'll say until then, and enjoy this football season.